Across the vast, often unsettling landscape of the internet, whispers persist about phenomena defying conventional understanding. Many of us have stumbled upon intriguing corners, perhaps encountering a supposed canal misterioso que prévu desastres, a mysterious channel claiming uncanny foresight into future events. This concept, resonating with our deepest curiosities, immediately captivates the mind, pulling us into a narrative of the unknown and potentially the unfathomable. It's a question that naturally arises from our digital explorations. Could mere algorithms, or perhaps something more profound, truly pinpoint catastrophic occurrences before they unfold? The allure of such a channel is undeniable, tapping into ancient human desires to understand and control an unpredictable future. We often seek patterns, especially when faced with chaos, and the idea of someone having access to this hidden knowledge is both terrifying and strangely comforting, sparking countless debates across online forums and social media. This phenomenon isn't new. Tales of prophets and seers span human history. However, the internet provides an unprecedented platform for these narratives to proliferate, creating a unique environment where anonymous accounts can gain widespread traction. The sheer volume of information and the speed of its dissemination amplify both genuine mysteries and elaborate hoaxes, making discernment increasingly difficult for the average curious viewer. As we navigate this digital labyrinth, we're confronted with a fundamental human question. Is there an underlying truth to these claims, or are we simply witnessing a sophisticated form of collective delusion? The concept of a digital oracle capable of forecasting the future challenges our understanding of causality and the boundaries of known science. It begs for a closer, more critical examination of the evidence presented. Our journey begins by acknowledging the powerful pull of these narratives and the inherent human fascination with predictions. We're not merely debunking, we're exploring the very nature of belief in the digital age. What makes certain online phenomena so compelling that they embed themselves deeply within our collective consciousness, shaping our perceptions of reality and possibility? The internet, a melting pot of information and speculation, has become the perfect breeding ground for these enigmatic channels. Consider the viral videos, cryptic posts, or obscure forums that suddenly gain notoriety, claiming to have detailed knowledge of events before they occur. These digital oracles often emerge from the shadows, their anonymous creators presenting what appears to be irrefutable proof of their prophetic abilities to a global audience starved for unique content. What specific characteristics make a canal misterioso que prévu desastres so captivating? Often it's a combination of vague but seemingly specific statements, a cryptic aesthetic, and the timing of a few hits that align with major world events. These elements create an irresistible narrative loop, encouraging viewers to delve deeper, to scrutinize every detail for hidden meanings, and to share their findings widely across social networks. The human mind is intrinsically drawn to puzzles and secrets, and these channels provide an abundance of both. When a natural disaster strikes or a significant political upheaval occurs, it's almost inevitable that someone, somewhere online, will emerge claiming they knew it all along. The subsequent spread of these claims feeds into a cycle of wonder and suspicion, generating intense discussions about their origins and veracity, driving views and engagement. This digital age phenomenon thrives on our collective desire for meaning in a chaotic world. When confronted with unpredictable events, the idea that someone, or something, holds the key to understanding, even anticipating them, can be immensely reassuring or deeply unsettling. It's a compelling thought experiment, pushing the boundaries of what we believe possible within our interconnected global society, blurring lines between fact and fiction. But how do these seemingly prophetic channels manage to garner such a devoted following and spark such intense debate? Is it purely random chance? Or is there a more deliberate, perhaps even nefarious mechanism at play, exploiting our natural cognitive tendencies to connect disparate pieces of information into a coherent, albeit often false, narrative? We must look beyond the initial shock to truly understand. When a canal misterioso que prévu desastres gains prominence, popular theories immediately surge, attempting to explain the seemingly inexplicable. The most common explanation, often whispered in comment sections, points to genuine supernatural ability or psychic powers. Many people, deeply desiring to believe in something beyond the mundane, cling to the idea that some individuals possess an innate capacity to glimpse the future, perhaps even from an alternate timeline. Another prevalent theory suggests a clandestine, powerful group or individual orchestrating these predictions as part of a larger, undisclosed agenda. This could be anything from a deep state conspiracy to an advanced artificial intelligence subtly manipulating information. The shadowy nature of the internet, coupled with a general distrust of established institutions, fuels these conjectures, providing a convenient framework for explaining highly unusual occurrences. Then there are those who propose time travel. This fantastical idea posits that the channel's creator is either a traveler from the future or has access to future information, deliberately leaking details for unknown reasons. This theory, while exciting, often struggles with logical paradoxes and the sheer impossibility of current scientific understanding, yet it remains a popular, intriguing explanation for those seeking ultimate answers. The sheer volume of content on the internet also contributes to another popular, albeit more mundane theory: pure, unadulterated coincidence. With billions of pieces of information published daily, the probability of someone, somewhere, making a vague prediction that aligns with a future event is statistically higher than one might initially assume. This theory, however, often feels unsatisfying to those seeking deeper meaning. These popular theories, ranging from the mystical to the conspiratorial, all share a common thread. They offer a sense of order or a dramatic explanation for events that otherwise appear random or profoundly unsettling. Yet without robust evidence, they remain speculative. How do these compelling narratives hold up when confronted with a more rigorous evidence-based scrutiny, separating genuine mystery from human fallacy? Despite the compelling narratives surrounding a canal misterioso que prévu desastres, we must begin to dismantle these popular theories by applying critical thinking. The idea of pure coincidence, while often dismissed as boring, actually accounts for a surprising number of these predictions. In a world saturated with information, where countless predictions are made daily, a few are statistically bound to align with real events, simply by chance. Think about the sheer volume of prophetic content. For every hit that goes viral, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of misses that are quickly forgotten. Our brains, unfortunately, are wired to focus on patterns and successes, a cognitive bias known as selective memory or confirmation bias. We actively seek out and remember the instances that confirm our beliefs while conveniently overlooking those that contradict them. Take, for example, a channel that posts hundreds of vague warnings throughout the year. If one of those warnings by chance happens to vaguely correspond to a natural disaster, that prediction will be highlighted and shared widely, becoming proof of foresight. Meanwhile, the 99 other failed predictions simply fade into obscurity, never gaining the same attention or critical analysis, skewing our perception of accuracy. This phenomenon is akin to a broken clock being right twice a day. The channel doesn't need to be genuinely prophetic. It just needs to make enough general statements that over time, a few will inevitably intersect with reality. The more predictions made, the higher the probability of an apparent hit, leading to an illusion of accuracy fueled by our own subconscious biases and the Internet's amplification. So, while the idea of genuine foresight or a deep-state conspiracy might be more exciting, the cold, hard reality of probability and our own psychological quirks often provides a far more rational explanation. But what about instances where the predictions seem too specific, too detailed, to be mere coincidence? Is there something more intentional at play, or are we still misinterpreting the evidence before us? Beyond mere coincidence, many supposed predictions from a canal misterioso que previu desastres can be attributed to deliberate manipulation and outright hoaxes. The Internet provides a fertile ground for individuals or groups seeking attention, fame, or even financial gain by crafting elaborate deceptions. These creators understand human psychology and exploit our inherent desire for dramatic narratives and the extraordinary. One common tactic involves retrospective editing. A channel might post a vague video, then after a significant event occurs, subtly alter the video's description, title, or even re-upload a slightly modified version to make it appear as if it predicted the event. Viewers, often relying on memory or cached versions, might not notice the changes, further solidifying the channel's perceived prophetic status and enhancing its mystery. Another method is the creation of self-fulfilling prophecies, or more accurately, influencing events. While this is less common for large-scale disasters, it can apply to smaller, localized incidents or market fluctuations. By generating enough buzz around a particular prediction, creators can sometimes influence collective behavior, inadvertently shaping the very outcome they claim to foresee, blurring lines of cause and effect. Furthermore, some channels thrive on what's known as broadcasting multiple outcomes. They might post several contradictory predictions for the same period or event. When one of these inevitably comes true, the others are quickly deleted or ignored, leaving only the successful prediction visible to the audience. This selective presentation creates an artificial sense of accuracy, preying on our trust in visible evidence. Therefore, before attributing any power to these channels, a healthy dose of skepticism is paramount. We must question the source, investigate inconsistencies, and understand the motivations behind their content. But if these channels aren't genuinely prophetic, and if they're not merely relying on coincidence, what are the actual psychological mechanisms that allow these illusions of foresight to take root and flourish? The real mechanism behind the perceived success of a canal misterioso que previu desastres lies less in supernatural abilities and more in the intricate workings of the human brain, coupled with the overwhelming volume of online information. Our minds are pattern-seeking machines, constantly striving to make sense of the world by connecting seemingly unrelated dots, even when no genuine connection exists. This cognitive tendency is incredibly powerful. This is where pareidolia, the psychological phenomenon of perceiving recognizable patterns in random or ambiguous stimuli, plays a crucial role. Just as we see faces in clouds, we often perceive clear predictions in vague statements or images, especially when primed to look for them. The mysterious tone and presentation of these channels enhance this effect, encouraging viewers to project meaning where none was intentionally placed. The digital age amplifies this natural inclination. With the Internet delivering an endless stream of news, theories, and anomalies, our brains are in constant overdrive, trying to process and categorize everything. When a significant event occurs, our pattern-seeking mechanism goes into hyperdrive, scanning through past information for anything that might retrospectively appear to have predicted it, reinforcing the illusion of foresight. Furthermore, the echo chambers created by social media algorithms ensure that once someone believes in a prophetic channel, they are continually fed content that supports this belief. This constant reinforcement strengthens conviction and makes it harder to critically evaluate the evidence. Our perceptions become filtered through a lens of confirmation, making any challenge to the narrative seem like an attack on truth itself. Understanding these inherent cognitive biases and the way information is consumed online is crucial to deciphering the enigma of these channels. It's not about magic or conspiracy. It's about the sophisticated interplay between human psychology and the digital environment. But how exactly do these biases manifest in our everyday assessment of such claims? And how can we consciously work to counteract their pervasive influence? Delving deeper into the science of perception, we find that the human brain's desire for narrative coherence significantly contributes to the belief in a canal misterioso que prévient désastres. When confronted with complex random events, our minds naturally construct stories to connect them, giving them purpose and predictability. A prediction offers a ready-made narrative, making chaos feel less daunting and more comprehensible. Consider the concept of apophenia, a broader term encompassing pareidolia, referring to the tendency to perceive meaningful connections between unrelated things. This isn't a flaw. It's a fundamental part of how we learn and adapt. However, in the context of online predictions, it can lead us astray, making us see undeniable links where only chance or clever manipulation exists, blurring the lines of reality. This cognitive architecture makes us susceptible to the allure of cryptic information. A channel that posts ambiguous messages is more likely to be seen as prophetic, because its vagueness allows for multiple interpretations, one of which will inevitably align with a future event. The more open-ended the prediction, the higher its chance of being retrospectively linked to a real-world occurrence, feeding the cycle of belief. The emotional impact of disasters also plays a role. When tragedy strikes, people naturally seek explanations, comfort, or even a sense of control. A channel claiming foresight offers a powerful, albeit false, sense of understanding or pre-warning, which can be psychologically appealing. This emotional vulnerability can override rational thought, making individuals more receptive to unsubstantiated claims and less critical. Ultimately, the phenomenon of mysterious channels predicting disasters is a powerful testament to the fascinating, sometimes misleading nature of human perception and cognition. It highlights how easily our minds can be swayed by patterns and narratives, especially when amplified by the digital world. So how can we arm ourselves with the tools to navigate these digital mysteries more effectively and think critically about what we encounter? Understanding the true mechanisms behind a canal misterioso que prévient désastres offers crucial knowledge applicable to navigating the broader digital landscape. The most significant takeaway is the importance of developing robust, critical thinking skills. Instead of immediately accepting extraordinary claims, we must cultivate a habit of questioning, verifying, and seeking multiple perspectives, fostering a healthier online consumption habit. Media literacy is paramount. Learn to identify the hallmarks of misinformation, vague language, lack of verifiable sources, emotional appeals, and the deliberate omission of contradictory evidence. Always consider the potential motivations of the content creator. Are they seeking engagement, validation, or something more? This informed skepticism empowers you to discern fact from fiction in a world awash with information. Recognizing our own cognitive biases, such as confirmation bias and pareidolia, is another vital tool. By acknowledging that our brains are wired to find patterns and confirm existing beliefs, we can consciously challenge these tendencies. Actively seek out information that contradicts your initial assumptions and evaluate it fairly, strengthening your ability to make objective judgments. Remember that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. The burden of proof lies with those making the predictions, not with those questioning them. If a channel claims to foresee disasters, it should be able to provide clear, testable, and consistently accurate predictions, not just a few retrospective hits that can be explained by chance or manipulation. Demand rigorous, verifiable proof, not just compelling stories. By applying these principles, we not only demystify the canal misterioso que previu desastres, but also equip ourselves to be more discerning digital citizens. This journey into understanding online phenomena ultimately enhances our ability to engage thoughtfully with all forms of digital content, protecting us from misinformation and fostering a more informed, critical perspective. If you found this exploration enlightening, please consider subscribing for more deep dives into the internet's most intriguing mysteries.